What's up, squad? So you guys know who this lady is, right? Yeah, Haliey Weltch, the Tuah girl. She has given a response on Tuah Talk, but that shit was deleted just as fast, if not quicker, than the rise and failure of her meme coin. Haliey Welch has scammed her fans out of millions of dollars and disappeared for months. Now she's back and gone again.
Hello guys, I'm back with another episode of Talk To, and I'm here with Banks.
There he is.
How's it going?
It's going good. Life's crazy right now. I don't know. I say no to every single fucking podcast. The ongoing joke on Impulsive that I stood them up 4 or 5 times. This isn't necessarily my thing, but you're in an interesting position right now, and I feel like it's my duty to come on here and talk to you. You seem like a sweet enough girl, and I feel like I know more or less what happened with you. We're gonna get into all that. I brought a couple crypto nerds with me. We're gonna sit down and talk.
Teach me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I feel good. How do you feel?
I don't know. I'm still a little shook up about it.
How was the nap?
It's a very long nap. I would say that's what sucks about it too. I had to read that off a phone and like put it in my words, and I was like, anywho, I'm going to bed.
I don't find anything about this situation funny at all. This bitch disappeared for months. Do you guys find anything funny?
This is mainly for me, and again, why I wanted to come here and talk about this is because millions of people are going to watch this. Everybody's kind of waiting to hear what you say. Everyone's kind of waiting to see how this plays out. And 99% of these people don't know shit about crypto.
And I'm one of them.
Just like you. Exactly.
I'm one of them.
Exactly.
If you're one of them, I don't understand why you're even out here making a meme coin and having millions and millions of people follow you and follow your meme coin just to scam them.
And the ongoing joke on CT right now is like, if she just did this 2 days after Trump, she'd be okay.
Exactly.
Which isn't necessarily true because of the way it was done. And that's kind of the whole point, right? There's a right and a wrong way to do this.
And the right and wrong way to do it is just not to do it at all. The running joke is that you're going to jail, Haliey. And Faze let her completely snitch on himself. That's exactly why this video was deleted.
Mostly important that your network and the people that you trust to walk into this market are exactly that, people that you can trust.
I think that's where I messed up.
For sure, for sure. I can only imagine, fuck crypto. I can only imagine stepping into everything that your life's been the last year and the amount of time that you have been. I've been doing this whole social media content thing at a high level for like 15 years. I'm officially fucking like Unk. And I still don't, have it totally figured out. Someone like you, and my shit was gradual. I like gradually got to where I am today, and you were like fucking parabolic.
I want to start by saying thank you to all my true fans and all the people that actually watch my stuff and they keep up with me. We're trying to sort out all the pieces and stuff to like get all this figured out and make everything right. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry.
No, don't cry. Don't cry. Don't cry. Everything's gonna be good. We're gonna be good.
Nah, save all of that for when you're in court. I'm not falling for none of this. Are y'all falling for any of this?
And guys, listen, just as a temperature check, I just want to say, the first thing that she said to me off camera was, the minute you DM'd me, I really wish I just texted you and called you. And that speaks to me because of how I was introduced to crypto, and we'll get into that. But I'm also kind of on the back end of things too. Like, their team's been very forthcoming. My team is vetting them the fuck out right now and has been for the last week. Thread Guy and Frank, they're going to be on this episode. It's such a weird blend and mash of worlds. No, don't.
It rolled out.
Don't cry, Haliey. It's fine. It's all going to be okay. Life is going to be okay. Oh, Haliey, no.
Oh, don't do that. Don't stare at me.
No.
Gee, keep it real with her. She fucked up.
You're adorable. Just give us a minute.
Okay. It's going to be okay.
Well, so basically how this idea got brought to me, it was supposed to be like what they call it, a long-term coin. And the guy that ran the account, he was like, oh, we're going to change like the way everybody thinks of crypto. Crypto is going to be a good place. And I feel really bad for all the people that got affected by it. And it just didn't go the way I planned. And all the money out of this episode is getting donated to all the animals that have been affected by the fires up here.
And I'll match it.
What does that have to do with the scam that you just pulled? What about all the fans that were affected by the bullshit meme coin that you created? She doesn't give a fuck. I don't care. This bitch is tripping.
Me, Ricky, I'll match it, whatever. It's really, really important for me to make sure that we address everything and get through all of exactly what happened. I think that it's really, really important at this point to be totally transparent about everything that happened with you and your partners and this launch and in crypto, and what makes this bad and what makes what Iggy Azalea is doing maybe even good, and what makes Trump's doing different, right? I want to get through all that. So I brought 2 guys that I live with and do this crypto shit at a very high level. I brought Thread Guy. He's the biggest streamer in crypto.
Mind you, I do not advise anybody to listen to any of this bullshit.
And I brought Frank D. Gods, who launched a very successful project last cycle, and he trades at a very high level. He's one of the best trencher trader guys. These guys are really, really sharp, and they know this market inside and out. And most importantly, they have front-facing brands, and their faces are everywhere, and we're all docs, and we all have to move militant, and we're all super, super passionate about conversations like this, because crypto done right is good for everybody, and everything that happened to you is really, really bad for the market. It's really, really bad for us. Yeah.
If everything was already bad, I don't understand why would everybody let her do this in the first place. And second of all, why would she not go to everybody to get advice at first before she even started any of this? I believe that she knew what she was doing. Everybody behind the scenes knew what they were doing, and they just scammed everybody.
You might have to hear about this for the rest of your life,
Probably.
but let's just be transparent and make it right.
Okay.
Haliey, pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Cool. Let's bring in the
Can I have my
nerds.
tissue go-go?
All right, Mrs. Haliey. This is Thread Guy, the guy I was telling you about, the streamer guy.
Thread.
Hi, Haliey. Thanks for having us.
Well, of course.
And
Thank
then
you for coming.
this is Frank D. Gotts.
Hey, Haliey.
Frank D. Gauntz.
That's it, yeah. In the merch, too. Yeah, I got the merch on.
I love it.
Tuah, shout out.
These are 2 of 10 of my little crypto nerds, I call them. And these guys do this at the highest level, and they're gonna help us through this conversation. And you have with us, he's off camera, but do you want to introduce?
I have my lawyer here, too.
What's your name?
She better have her damn lawyer there.
Christian Barker. Okay, cool. How did this all happen?
So
Explain.
this idea got brought to me like months ago, and I was kind of, I don't want to do that. I don't know anything about it, and I've never heard the space is a good place to be. So I was like, I don't know about it. Which we trusted the guy that come to us. He was a friend of, I don't know, a friend of a friend, I guess you can put him. That was my biggest mistake.
Yeah,
I probably should have looked into him.
We heard a little bit
more.
about him. Apparently, he had like a pretty strong network in LA, and kind of used that as leverage to, give himself a vouch. And I think the guy probably more or less overstated his qualifications in executing something like this. Fair to say?
Just exactly like how you guys are.
Yes.
Which is usually the case.
Yeah, that's 99% of the time. What happened after that?
Well, really, everything went good, and then I noticed, like, the day of the launch, he was, like, a little weird about it, like, he was pacing around on the porch, and I don't know, it just makes you suspicious. And then we finished a podcast that day, and then I ended up going in that room over there to get on that live, where I was, like, scripted to say this, that, and the other, but put it in my own words. So I done that, and then that's when you got on, and you were asking him questions, and he couldn't answer them. So I was like, okay, something's wrong. He can't answer a simple question. And then CoffeeZilla got on there. Scary guy, let me tell you. Don't ever want to have a conversation with him.
Yeah, CoffeeZilla is the man who basically exposed everything that was going on. Shout out to that guy. Please go over there and look at his channel, look at his whole interview with her, because he exposed the entire lie.
We're a little bit more charitable than Coffee. I think Coffee kind of has a little bit of disdain for crypto in general. Us, on the other hand, we live and breathe it every day. We want to see crypto succeed. We do it every single day. But Coffee definitely, like, you know what I mean? He's definitely asking the right questions. It's the way that he asks them, maybe, is why you guys can't really find a spot to like talk or have like any sort of conversation with each other. But we actually did talk to him. We had a conversation with him, and he gave us some broad questions to share and ask you. They're good questions.
Oh, that scares me if they come from him.
No, don't worry about it. Don't be scared.
He's such a scary guy.
He ain't scary. He just doesn't fuck around. He's Mr. No Bullshit.
It's okay.
He means well, though.
This whole thing is a little scary. Yeah, at the end of the day, he wants to he just wants to see people move the right way. And again, that's the difference between you, Iggy, Trump, is they just simply did it the right way. There's a whole set of standards and rules that this market follows, and an etiquette that people, respect. And it's just, that's what it is, right?
Well, see, that's how it got brought to me. It was supposed to be done the right way. Like, it was going to be good. Like, half the money, it was supposed to go, like, into my charity. That's really why I agreed to do it. Just for the simple fact, putting money into that. It was a way to, like, get all my community gathered up together. It was just, I don't know. It was brought to me in, like, a positive way. Like, it was going to be something good and long-term, but it didn't go that route at all. So it was like a smack in the face.
100% of the time, the pitch is always going to be positive. It's we're the right guys, we're the ones, et cetera, et cetera. Again, I think that's why we're here. Thread, Frank, maybe introduce yourselves and give your.
Yeah. Hey, Frank. I've been in crypto for like 4 years. I guess, do we just go to the questions first, or?
Yeah, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like natural
Well, how much
conversation.
like did they offer you money up front? This is what I think the internet always wants to know is like, do they offer you money up front, part of the tokens? Like, how did that work? Like,
So the deal, I can speak to that. So the deal that she did was like a brand image likeness deal where they paid her $125,000 up front. They were supposed to pay her $200,000 after the launch of the coin within 30 days. She was supposed to have full transparency to tokenomics and everything going on, which they did stay in communication about it, but it just was an ever-evolving game plan, essentially. So back-end participation was to always be mutually agreed, and what they had agreed on in the tokenomics was there was a 10% allocation of the token that would be on a 1-year lock and then a 3-year drip after that. Of that 10%, half of that was supposed to go to the company that created the project and half was to go to her. So out of 100% of the token, she would have had 5% at the end. Obviously she has lawyer, manager, business manager, so even that 5% would have been cut down by over a quarter due to people that she has to pay out on her non-crypto.
So all the structure you just described, what happened to all that?
It's not like it has dissolved. That on launch, 3% of the token was made available for public trading. A lot of this information we found out since the launch. We, as in Haliey's internal non-crypto team, but 17% was given to pre-sale investors. 2/3 of which approximately sold the day of launch. Yep. So there is 20% in circulation.
And just to be clear about where you kind of jumped into this, you were telling us in the back room that this kind of all was happening even without you really knowing or having view on any of it until post. You know, you're handling the cleanup and trying to protect Haliey and trying to do right by Haliey now, but you didn't have the opportunity to like.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
I negotiated the contract with the company. We have like accounting transparency rules and requirements that I added to the contract. SEC compliance requirements I added into the contract that they would have to do as project manager. And so we continued to inquire all along the process about the tokenomics. It was kind of a shifting narrative and explanation of tokenomics. The most recent tokenomics that were given to us prior to the launch had the pre-sale investors being on a 1-month lock with a 1-year drip after that. That's pretty obvious on chain that didn't happen. But 80% of the supply is still in control. The dev still controls 80%.
And who are they?
I do not know who the dev is. That was never disclosed to us. All I know is it's a gentleman that's...
So see, the problem with the developing side of like projects like these and products like these is they can do whatever the fuck they want, right? Like they can change this structure that sounds really pretty and nice and fair and honest. They can change it at will, right?
Especially when they control the coins, they control the keys, yeah.
So 80% of the fucking supply, and then they control all the code and stuff, all these locks that sound great again and fair and like it's gonna keep her safe. They can just be turned off right before the thing goes, and that's sounds like more or less is what happened. What would you say?
I think with memes, people in the internet like to feel like a ownership of it, and like the community wants to feel like it's organic. And so by having like a pre-sale, it makes it posting the wallet address beforehand, then you just know snipers are gonna like basically get, which I think a sniper made $1 million right when it went live. These were kind of just like really bad practices for like an organic meme coin. And so yeah, I mean that's honestly like it's
those two things specifically. What was the pre-sale structure exactly?
I'm not certain to the structure of the pre-sale. There was a 17% allocation. Most of the pre-sale investors, my understanding is, were based in Asia.
Okay.
And there was again supposed to be a 1-month lock with a 1-year drip after that.
And how much was raised for that 17%?
2.8 million.
I think that's why people were really upset for the most part, Haliey, is that
puts it at like 14, 15.
Basically, when you have a coin where people have a bunch of pre-sale, it means like a bunch of people got this early access to it.
That
so
normal people don't have access to.
That normal people don't have access to. And so I think it's less the problem that there's a coin and more just the way that it was done was really...
And just to articulate to you too, that is probably never the way to go. It's just not good for the health of the token. But if ever, you should know exactly who holds this token.
Correct.
Like always, like to have that be like a question mark, and like guys in Asia, it's like they're the ones who control now the destiny of this token.
It's like, who are these guys?
They at any moment upon launch, this thing could rip to fucking $100 million, and then they could all just fucking suck all the liquidity out and send it to zero, and then you're again the face of it, you're the name of it, and then you're left in this situation that you've been in.
So when there's a pre-sale, nobody in the United States can buy that, right? Is that how that works?
I'm not necessarily sure.
How does that work?
And that's exactly where I'm going to cut that. Y'all see that shit? I thought they were them experts. They don't even know what the fuck is going on. Moral of the story is stop doing shit that you have not done none of your research on. She got scammed at a 5% token, $200,000, and a brand deal supposedly or some bullshit like that. And all these American teens and her followers, they just got scammed out of all their money. Stop following these influencers. Do your own research. It's Kicking It Daily. Welcome back to the squad. Like, comment, subscribe. You already know what it is.